Hi everyone. Today is December 8, 2021. And here is a community meeting of Project Velero. And we're going to talk about the status for project and some other topic which the team want to discuss. Yeah, I think we can start from Dave.
Yeah, so I got some PRs in towards the upload progress monitoring. So those are there. So I refactored the action resolvers mainly because as we added a new type, which was the item snapshotter plugin, I would have had to copy paste some of this code a fifth time, and I didn't want to do that. So instead, I tried to refactor it so that we'd have it in one place. But that wound up being a fairly big PR. It's like 14 files, but I think it actually simplifies the code and it'll make things better in the future. And then I've also got the upload progress feature flag is just its own little thing because it's very small. And then the item snapshots file that'll go into the backups is in there. So that starts to move us forward towards getting things done. So that was about it for me this week.
Yeah, sounds great. And next one, Daniel, are you here?
Yeah, I fixed the issue for the mutating webhook restoration, and currently bumping up Golang and dependency for Velero and AWS plugin. And in addition, I'm also reviewing PRs this week. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, good. So what's the version we will use?
We are going to use we plan to use Golang 1.17 to compile Velero and the plugins. So please make sure you update your Golang in your local development environment. In addition to that, we also noticed that there are a few libraries that are a bit old, like the PKG arrows and other SDK. We'll see how much we can do before FC of 1.8.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Daniel. And the next one is Wenkai.
Yeah, I'm trying to upgrade the Golang and binaries used by Azure plugin. And I also have submitted 2 PRs to fix some issues. But I need to confirm the change with Nolan when he come back from PTO. And we are not very sure about the changes. So yeah, this is the status from me.
Okay, cool. So Wenkai, does that what is the issue related to? I mean, you did not put the issue number here, so
Okay.
maybe we can know more detail about it.
Sure.
So Bruce, Ming, and Danfeng, would you add yourselves to the attendees list, please?
Oh, okay, okay.
Hey, and hello, Frankie.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, frankly, we have just went through the status update, and if you have any update, you can put this in the empty file.
Ah, I'm afraid I don't have any updates.
Okay.
Wow. So did I join to see the end of the meeting?
Could be.
Nice.
Yeah, we have already went through the status. So it also seems like we do not have any discussion topic here today. So maybe if we don't have much things want to talk and discuss, maybe we can end this round of meeting earlier.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, it's good for me. I wanted to talk about the item snapshot stuff, but I think maybe I'll do that next week because I wanted to get some outside feedback, or just make sure people outside are seeing it.
Yeah. Okay. So, Dave, you want to talk about it next round of meeting, right?
Yeah, I think we want to, just make sure that everybody outside sees
Okay.
what's going on here and
Yeah.
has it, it's not final. Well, it'll be there in 1.8, but will be only with the feature flag turned on. So it's not a supported feature, GA feature yet. So
Yeah.
there's still time to make changes in 1.9, I think.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything
Okay.
else we want to discuss. Eleanor, you got anything?
The only thing I can possibly think of is Bridget helped me go over. So someone had asked for a Kubernetes Velero compatibility matrix. And while talking to Bridget, she helped me understand that there were probably two types of compatibility matrices we could make. The easy one, which is she helped me and I put the text in the comment for Abby, is simply on what versions of Kubernetes does each Velero version run on? So something like 1.8 will run on, I think it's 1.16 and to latest of Kubernetes. The more complicated one is if you have a Velero backup, onto what Kubernetes can you restore it? But talking to Bridget, it sounded like it was very specific to what resources were in the backup. And if a lot of people start asking for it, we can think about how to create some kind of matrix, but it's kind of up to the people who are backing up. I think it's more them to compare resource versions, backup version to, so it's not really a Velero thing. I think it's more like understanding your Kubernetes versions. So just FYI, I now put that, we can talk, if anyone has any disagreements, we can talk about it, but thanks to Bridget who gave me that information. I put it in the ticket that was requesting it. And now I'm hoping Abby will put that as documentation. So that's it for me.
Yeah, that's actually kind of an interesting question then, is what do we, we have stuff going in, we have like the resource API versioning that may help, but I don't think we guarantee it, right? So probably only guarantee that it'll restore into the same version of Kubernetes, and anything else is like, yeah, if it works, you got lucky.
Well, kind of. Well, Bridget was helping me understand that I guess that with you probably know this, but with Kubernetes API versions, if there's one difference, then Kubernetes will adapt. So if there's one upgrade, but if there's two, they won't. And there is documentation. If you look at our cluster, our migration documentation, it does say that. I think maybe Frankie, I don't know if you wrote it or you're just involved in the new documentation for that. But yeah, exactly. I feel like it's up to the user to kind of parse for each resource whether it'll upgrade correctly. But yeah, it's what I agree with.
Yeah, it's probably impossible unless you have a pretty simple project. So try it and see what happens is probably going to be I wonder if that's one of the things where we could have kind of a representative test. And I don't know, do we have like one of each type of Kubernetes? So Kubernetes resources, and see if they'll restore properly.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess it's for each resource, each version of each resource on each version of Kubernetes. It just gets very complicated. I think I would wait until I hear a lot more user demand. And if we did hear that, then we could start brainstorming how to do it. But at least the good news is the issue, the GitHub issue that was opened, one of the more basic compatibility matrix that Bridget and I did today. So once Abby gets into the docs, we have closed that issue, which is great. So
that sounds good.
Yeah, I hope I can double check. I don't want Velero to support too many versions of Kubernetes again. So maybe.
Well, this is not. This is more. Sorry, Daniel, I cut you off. Please continue.
Oh yeah. I just want to say I hope I can take another look before we publish it to the community or something, or update.
Okay. Yeah. Well, please do. So what I did is I think I sent it to you, Daniel, because I remember you asking. So I think I sent it to you. You can see what I put in the comment. It's more a statement of what each version, what is the compatibility. Maybe we can say something about supportability. I think it's totally reasonable for us to say, yes, it's compatible, but we don't have access to cluster. Maybe like we don't have clusters that are at 112 or something like that. So if you want to think I'm happy for us to make it clear that the Velero team is only supporting the newest Kubernetes or something.
Okay.
But
Right.
take a look at what was
And-
said and feel free to make a comment in that issue so that Abby, when she makes the documentation change, we can certainly put caveats. Dave, I think you had something to say.
Yeah, I think maybe a part of the policy is where one is support and is so far as helping people. And that's already kind of like, best effort. And then we might want to make a policy about where we'll actually patch issues. So if we see an actual incompatibility with 1.17, or there's a bug that only shows up, in Velero 1.8, but it only shows up on, and maybe it's in all the Veleros, but it only shows up on 1.16. Do we want to say, yes, we'll try to fix this? Or do we just say, yeah, no, that's just going to be there. That's, we're only going to fix issues that occur within like the last 2 or whatever it is, we want for Kubernetes.
Yeah. I mean, from a PM standpoint, my thought is I prefer for us to work on things that affect the most users. So I think if a ton of users are saying, I've got this bug on 1.16, then we would consider fixing it. But if it's just 1 or 2 folks, I have to say, I'd prefer that, I'd say you can do the fix, but I would love to see the Velero team working on the features that most people will use.
I mean, we can always make exceptions to our policy. Right.
Yeah.
So we can say, yeah, we really, we decided that we're going to go ahead and fix this 1.16 bug because it's really bad and it's really affecting a lot of people. But in general, when someone shows up, they're like, it shows up and it's like 1 character off. And I want, it's like, nope, we just don't do that.
I'm supportive of that. I do like your point of we can always have a more conservative policy and then a more liberal application if we so choose. Well, Daniel, take a look and please think about if there's certain caveats you'd like to add. We can definitely discuss that. I'm happy to, I am definitely supportive of setting clear expectation or a clear whatever policies. Okay, so that's all for me.
Do we have any update from Xun done from admin? Why don't you edit?
Yeah, should definitely, or I mean, if you have any, I know we have working on some items, right? For it in the past week. So if you have any update, you can put this directly in the empty file, so it is visible for the community and things.
Yeah, I'm editing.
So I see the pre-post backup hooks are in discussion. Do we want to, is that something we actually want to discuss?
Yeah, I want to quickly talk about it.
Okay.
Sorry. Let me share my screen. Jiao introduce stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Daniel, do you want to share?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I just want to discuss on the, how we decide. But my point is, I see 2 major gaps. I hope this design can fill in. First is that how does user get the log of the post backup and restore plugins? I pointed out to Rafa, but he's saying he has a plan is to implement an interface to persist the post logs on the same location. But my point is we should still have a solution for user to get it from CLI. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna do it. But I think my point is we should cover it in the design, right?
Yeah, when we talked about that, I had a similar need for the upload progress monitoring. So I was saying, let's just do the 2 together and kind of have a little more general purpose mechanism for additional logs.
So that one should be put in another design, right?
That was my thought. Yeah.
Okay. And the other one is that I think this plugin is a little bit different from others because once it's registered, it impacts all the backup and restore, which is usually not
Mhm.
the purpose. I mean, user may create register such plugin for migration, as Rafa pointed out. But once this plugin is registered, we'll need to, these plugins will be triggered for all backup and restore. So I think we should have a way to, make sure, let the user who create the backup and restore to selectively execute such plugin or somehow bypass the plugin.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah. So I think that should also be addressed in this plugin, but I think Rafa seems we do not have such functionality for existing plugins. If not, he think it should not be covered in this one. My point is it should be covered in this one because otherwise we cannot ship this feature until we figure this out. That's my personal thought.
I think that's a good point. And for hooks, right? Currently, the user creates the hooks
Yeah, and
as
it's
Kubernetes
pod
resources.
granularity. Yeah.
Well, but they're also they're under the control of the user, right?
Mhm.
So it's a little different because it's not a plugin mechanism per se. So I think that's where it's kind of the mix of the two,
Right.
but definitely being able to specify either how you run the hooks
Mhm.
and this design right now. The other thing we need to have is we need to be able to run scripts and stuff. I don't know if this has parameters. Does this have parameters? Oops.
No, he didn't mention that.
That's why it doesn't work. I'm looking at the wrong one. But do we need to have parameters for these hooks? And I kind of think we do. Don't we?
I mean, he passed this backup object to the plugins, so somehow that works as a parameter.
Yes, but maybe we can combine the two together where you can specify arguments for a plugin, and even like a blank set of arguments would mean I want to execute this. I think you raise a very good point. And one of the questions is, once you've installed one of these plugins, does it always execute? Does it execute only when you ask it to? Or do you have a way to tell it not to? So I think there's three options, right?
Currently, in the plugin framework, we don't have this such mechanism. But normally for backup item action, restore item action, we add the logic in the code of the plugin.
And they also typically only act on certain resources.
Yeah.
And things like volume snapshots. Volume snapshots actually do, because you can turn off volume snapshotting.
Okay. What, Dave? Could you chime in the discussion?
I will.
Yeah, that would.
I think that's a good.
Yeah. Thanks. But what do you think about the number 2? Do you think that's a blocker for VFC this feature? To have a mechanism for user to see the logs.
I don't think it's a blocker. I mean, the main user for it is actually the migrator team initially, and there aren't going to be. I mean, the thing is that it's not yet a user-facing feature because you have to actually write a plugin. So you can't just write a script and run it with this mechanism. We're actually going to have to build a plugin that fits in here that can run a script.
Okay, but I was thinking if we put this one in the roadmap and we publish it to the community. So once this is merged to the main branch, it is user facing, right? I mean,
we could put it behind a feature flag until we get the logging in, for example, and the controls. How's that sound for you?
I would prefer it, it has some proper design in this one PR, and we merge it and make it FC. That's my preference.
I think the logging, we should make a separate design, but we can say that we don't do it right away.
Yeah, because somehow user can work around it by downloading the log from the object store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or getting the stuff off the nodes,
Right.
because that's where we came to from this.
Okay.
I think the other questions though are very, I mean, especially like, is this always going to run? And we don't even have, it's kind of difficult to uninstall plugins. So
No. But but Rafa pointed out somehow we can use config map. I mean, config map is a like global variable here, so somehow we can use that. But we should
but it should be
out.
defined.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should be defined, and there should be a convention here. Everyone follows that. Yep. Okay, so
Yep.
please chime in the discussion. So that seems this one probably will not meet our FC date. I'm not sure if Rafa has time to refine the design. I mean, hopefully we can merge this one before 1.8GA, but I don't see any chance this feature will be delivered to the user by 1.8. So I hope everyone is okay with that. Oh, what do you think, Eleanor and Frankie?
I think we'll still try our best to get this in. If what Dave said is okay to put the logging in later, then the design doesn't really need to be changed that much, right?
Yeah, but that's only from me. I'm not sure what other guys think. I mean, Scott and Genting has not been. Shall we get another yes from Dave? Then we merge this one.
I mean, it's a design, right? So the designs can be updated afterwards. I think it's good to get these issues in, but really it's about probably putting down the issues like, hey, we're not going to merge the actual code until these things are fixed. So either way, I mean, it's the design, right?
Regarding the FC date, I do think it's really important. I think that the team is healthier if we set a schedule and we stick to that schedule. So I do think that we really should do that for 1.8. I think, Rafa can let us know if there's going to be a huge blocker for him, then maybe, well, hopefully he can, well, we'll talk there, but I do think that we need to maintain our FC date, especially because I know that much of the team will be on vacation right after 1.8 comes out. So it doesn't seem like we can push back the timeline, right?
No.
Yep. So anyways, well, I can talk to Rafa if he's gonna, Raphael, if he's gonna have trouble with it, then I'll chat with him. Well, he can, Frankie, feel free to have him chat with me and we can talk.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll be updating him on what was said during this meeting.
Perfect. And there's a recording, so if he wants to listen to it, he can too.
I'll send him the link.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Frankie.
Thank you.
Yeah, that good discussion, I think. And for this item, I also have a comments. I think that is a design for the pre-hook, the post-hook. So if really, I mean, cannot reach the FC, but we need to get agreement on the, I mean, the questions that Daniel threw out or other reviewer have posted in the comments.
Yeah.
So we can get it done maybe before RC, even before GA, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe fine.
Yeah. I think this hook is really useful because currently the pre and post hook only, cover the resource level. But normally when you QS a application, you want to do it per backup and resource. So yeah, I want this one to be really refined, and I see many users will be using this one, although we do not provide any default plugins, but that's an important extension point.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, I have seen Xun and Min definitely have put some updated in the empty file. So were you able to share more information from your side?
For me, the rest I'm not and the related operations is already added to the existing kit for the 1.6.3, and I'm trying to work to add the new release package 1.7.5. And for the migration backup sync controller, request is ready and waiting for the another review. And I'm still working on a part volume restore controller. This is in progress. And bump up, go on, and for the GCP plugin. Not start yet.
Yeah, cool. And thank you, Xun. Sorry. Okay, next one, Ming.
Yeah, I've adjusted the E2E test structure and put different test model into different package, and which make our test structure more clearly. That is the 43886 PR, and the later PR is I've do a lot of test resource filtering, and it is put a PR. And later I will do something on how to optimize our E2E test, because the more tests we are running, the time will cost more. So I am determined to optimize the running time. Yeah, that's all.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Ming. And Daniel.
Yeah, this week I'm working on adding Azure pipeline in Nightly, and the PR will be ready today. So since it's in work in progress status, but I think it will be finished soon. Yeah, that's all.
Sounds good. Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Okay, so did anyone else have anything want to talk? Okay, good. So I think we have done for for today's meeting, and thank you everybody to joining and share information and discuss. See you next time.
Oh, see you next time. Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.